Hello, I'm Hannah, and I'm going to start today with a poem. You're just a fussy eater, it really doesn't go that deeper. You don't need support, helping you is our last resort. That is actually how it feels, and as such, nothing heals. ARFID is not a choice. Please just listen to my voice. For me, food is a chore, the same beige I do not bore. I know that I need to eat, but the task is just too big a feat. I do know what I need, and I do want to succeed. But there's something inside my brain for which food causes such disdain. It's not like other disorders. I view it within very different borders. Anorexia I had to recover, but life with ARFID I can discover. However, with that being said, I do still need to be fed. For that I need help and love, support to help me rise above. I do not see food the same as you. It's a constant battle through and through. There is no treatment as an adult. To not be believed is such an insult. And that is where my story starts. I developed an eating disorder at 9 years old. And like so many people here, I wasn't met with care. I was met with disbelief because I didn't fit the narrative. Because I was neurodivergent, because I had undiagnosed ARFID, and because my body didn't always look the way that people expected it to. And when you don't fit the system doesn't bend, it breaks you. I spent 5 years in hospital. My mental health didn't get better, it got worse. I ended up in secure services and I ended up in psychiatric intensive care. Not because I wasn't trying, but because I was never being understood. As a child, my first unit I was placed in wasn't for eating disorders because professionals decided that my disorder wasn't real, that it was a choice. And it was only after three and a half weeks of no intake, leading to my body shutting down, resulting in suspected heart failure and requiring life-saving treatment, did they decide that maybe, just maybe, an eating disorder unit was where I needed to be. And it was at that moment that I learned a really painful truth. You have to be dying to be heard. And then 2 years ago, I was told something I will never forget, that the years of damage to my body, my eating disorder would likely eventually kill me. I was under 6 different hospital specialists. They told me that there was nothing that they could do, that because it had gone on so long and my BMI as an adult had never fit the ridiculous criteria where I lived, one of the remaining areas to have an incredibly strict BMI criteria. And despite asking for help early on, I was just told, you just need to eat and drink better. And if I couldn't, that eventually I would die. And that was awful. They said it was awful, but that was all that they had. After fighting suicidal ideation and more attempts than I could ever count, I'd finally begun to rebuild some sort of life, away from my abusive childhood, to be told that now my deteriorating physical health meant that I didn't have that much long left. That was in 2024, and that is beyond not good enough. Because this system doesn't just fail people, it teaches people how to get worse. Having a weight criteria for eating disorders support is like making death a criteria for suicide support. You shouldn't have to be dead to be struggling with suicidal thoughts, and you shouldn't have to be underweight to be struggling with an eating disorder. That logic is dangerous because it doesn't prevent harm, it creates it. And recovery is not just about stopping. For years I was told just to stop the behaviours, stop restricting. But no one asked, what is this doing for you? Because my eating disorder had a job. It regulated me. It gave me control. It gave me something to hold on to. And when they tried to take that away without replacing it, I didn't recover, I collapsed. I've spent the past 2 years working relentlessly all by myself to make sure that they were wrong. And although I have many long-term complications, I have no plan on going anywhere anytime soon. So in the end, what helped me was replacing its job, building a life that made it less necessary. And now I can truly tell you I am living. I can dance, I can perform, I've written my own musical. And that should be not something that I should have had to fight so hard for. So why do I raise my voice? Because I have no other choice. I have no words to explain the anger simmering inside my brain. You ask me to speak up and out, but in my head I have my doubt. I've been down this road before. I know it all just ends in war. When I state my needs, what I've done is plant the seeds that grow from roots into trees. And suddenly now I am just disease. No longer a person, now a problem. It's all getting rather solemn. Incapable, difficult, it's all too much. We can't cater for people like you as such. You won't be able to do the task, and now you see why I mask. People like me have to choose, share our needs and risk being removed. advocating for ourselves leaves us sat on naughty shelves, problematic, difficult, and ungrateful, self-centred, opinionated, viewed as hateful, judged by stereotypes and misconceptions, caged in by our very own projections, cast out without a chance. Enough is enough, this journey is rough, but as a society we must do better. I will not become another number or letter. So yes, I am angry, but this is my drive, to create a world in which we are all able to thrive. We should not have to prove our suffering to deserve care. We need early support, not crisis thresholds. Services that recognise all eating disorders, neurodivergent-informed care, and care without conditions. Because people are not failing the system is failing people. And today we stand here together. This is what change looks like. And this is what being heard looks like. And until things change, we will continue to raise our voices. Thank you.